Uh-oh.
I get very cold. Very cold.
It's freezing in here.
And it's cold in here every day.
Very cold. Yeah. Because of what?
You turned the thermostat down.
I
Or
don't
turn
turn
it
it
up.
down. I turn it up.
Turned it up like cold enough.
No, like it's freezing. It's blowing right on me. You're cold?
You want everyone to just be wide awake. So you're
That's right.
freezing out.
Yes.
Let's get this over with.
I like it. Good idea, you guys. Smart. I get cold every time I'm in here.
That was freezing. Yeah. Mine too.
That's like we have no control. And there's some businesses we have no control of power.
Right.
Combined. So I don't know. So we gotta sit under that. I'm gonna say her clock. It's close enough.
Jim Willie
Hi, Jim.
is now joining.
Jim, you're on here. We're gonna mute you, and then we'll come back to you here in a little bit.
That'll work perfect. Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye. Good evening. I'd like to welcome you all here. Would you please stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance with us, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Are there any additions or deletions to tonight's meeting? Okay. Is there a motion for approval of the August 23rd council meeting and executive session?
I move we approve the August 23rd council meeting and the executive session.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. We'll move on to reports. Councilman Moulton.
None, thank you.
Councilwoman Fonts.
Nothing?
Councilman Kincaid.
I just wanted to give a shout out to the herders. I attended their meet and greet this last week and fundraiser at the golf course. And it's our first year for having a golf team. See the principals here right now. So it's a nice little turnout, and we had some fun and games out there, hitting the longest drive and putting. And we do have, I think it's 7 going to state this weekend. So on our very first year. So I thought that was pretty cool, and we should give a shout out to those guys. So that's all I got.
Councilwoman Nunn.
Oh, yeah, that was good news, Paul. That was really good news. Okay, Sewer Lagoon Grant. $3 billion are available today to invest in America's community. Converse County is working with the Cole Committee funding opportunity to put together a county request for funding from this source. On Tuesday, September 7th, I participated in a teleconferencing meeting with the county commissioners where people from across the county were proposing possible projects that could be included in a county application for funding. Projects included recreation and tourism projects, including a possible proposal to pave the road from under the interstate all the way to the South Rec area, and possibly make improvements to the South Rec area to attract more tourism and recreation into the Glen Rock area. A proposal to upgrade the sewer lagoon in Glen Rock to accommodate the meat processing facility is on that list. This qualifies as a potential job opportunity for a community to be affected by the closure of a coal-fired power plant and would extend into our extended community of ranch families by increasing their potential for growth. Altogether, it would be a positive move towards the future for our town and our community, but will depend upon a final decision by the county commissioners. An interesting note, I received information about this meeting 5 minutes before it started from the county commissioners when a September 2 email had been sent to Bruce Ramel and Tammy Taylor with instructions to forward as needed. The council passed a motion to investigate the possibility of grant money being available for sewer lagoon upgrade. Councilwoman Fonz agreed to work with me to see what might be available in grants. Neither of us were informed by the town of this meeting. I hope we're not at a point where communications that should be shared with all elected members of the council who represent the people of Glen Rock are being censored and sent as deemed appropriate. I found this meeting rather significant for our town and our community.
Well, you got information on it that we didn't, and also that there has been work back and forth between the commissioners and all stakeholders, that there are meetings coming up this week for doing some work on coming up with ideas, all the different type of ideas we can come up with that maybe some of this this impact fund money can go towards. That's on Wednesday, the 2 meetings, or
There's 2. I have it in my report. One.
she'll let you know. So if you would
you-
like
you
to
said
sit on
that.
one of those meetings for information, there's been no brains, anything that was being put together by the Cindy Porter and the, what's her group again?
The Enterprise.
The Enterprise Group. So it was moving fast enough, we thought we'd wait and find out when the Enterprise was going to put that together and let everybody know about it.
They had some interesting comments from people around the county, Mr. Mayor, of possible projects that might be put under this, and I thought that the interest in putting things into Glen Rock was quite positive.
And
maybe we
Margaret,
get
I get stuff on meetings, multiple things, emails a day on different meetings and different things that are going on, and so I don't share all of those, but I knew that this one was going to. This was just the first meeting, and then I sent you out when they sent out the next 2. That was
Yes, you did.
more
Thank
narrow.
you.
So it wasn't an intention to hold information or censor information from you. We get bombarded with those all the time.
I'm sure you do. All right.
We got told about the meeting with the commissioners that their council, that meeting on the 7th? Not much more than ahead of what you did.
Okay, sidewalk concern. Parents are concerned about a lack of sidewalk along Grove Street between 2nd and 3rd, as this is the route to and from the middle school building for numerous children walking to that building. Winter is coming again with slick roads, and this is not exactly a place where I would feel safe having my children have to use the road to get to and from school. Is there anything that the town can do to make that a safe walking route for children?
Unless we encroach property to widen the roadway and add sidewalks, because the roadway is narrower than what our ordinances say it says it's supposed to be. So that's just one short block there. That's from 3rd to 2nd.
There's that one block in there.
That one block. There's some sidewalk there, but most of it does not have any. But we would be encroaching 3 different properties to do that, because the roadway's too narrow to add sidewalk on both sides now and have 2-way traffic on it.
How'd that happen?
Back in the day when they did the Street Water Sewer Improvement District and paved them, and there's streets in town that were made wider and others that were made narrower.
Maybe that's
Nothing to do with
something, something we can talk to the residents about if we ever got to do that. Maybe they can go for it.
Well, we'd hate to see a child hurt out there in the winter having to walk on that street. Mr. Grimshaw, I contacted Mr. Grimshaw, the person interested in the Lincoln building, and offered him a tour of the building. He stated he was still interested, but has a very busy schedule and would be in contact when he could come to Glen Rock. And John, you'll be the first to know of any information I receive from you. You expressed an interest in that project. Mr. Wickett, check out the new name on the fire hall. What a fitting gesture to make, knowing all the years Mr. Wickett worked for the volunteer fire hall.
Other than they spell his last name wrong.
Yeah.
You're kidding.
There's 2 T's on the end of it.
And plus,
Well,
they were supposed to cover it up.
It
You're
was,
supposed to cover it up and be a dedication.
I guess it was close and the gesture was there. Maybe he left me spell his name. Community Grass Grant. A possible use for a small portion of this grant, probably less than $1,000 for materials only, a wall of Glen Rock mares located here in the council chambers. I have contacted a local woodworker who would help create such a display if materials were provided that would include a plaque with the name and date of service of all mayors from 1908 and a display area for such plaque. A wall of Glen Rock mayors. Interested? We've had a lot of people serve our community over the years. There's not much recognition for any of them. I think it'd be kind of neat if you could walk in here and see who had been mayor across the years.
We're going to need
Okay,
a
that's
fairly
cool.
large spot.
I thought we had something like that out by the door at one time.
There might have been one.
A plaque or something with some mayors on it.
Might have been, I'm not sure.
Well, I think it'd be nice if we'd honor it. You don't have to.
Yeah, we need to
each-
get, we need
each
to
one-
get them. The artwork's been here for almost 2 years from the school, needs updated and taken back. And
I'll work on that.
yeah, you know, we'd like to get those back. I'm sure those students have left high school and might like their pictures back. I'm not sure, but I'd like to see
Well, Yeah.
some new artwork from the
I talked
students.
to him last year. We could maybe revolve that yearly.
I mean, we've got,
I'd like to
we've
do
got lights over there, Glen Rock mayors. You know, a little plaque for each one of them, their name and the years they served. There's been a lot of people been the mayor of this town over the years. I just think that'd be an interesting piece of history to have in our council chambers.
A lot of plaques.
Well, you know, we got quite a bit of wall. I can get this size like that. A name and a date shouldn't take up a lot of material. And I think it'd be real nice if each one had their own separate plaque instead of just being general plaques with everyone else to give them that little distinction that they were significant and important to us. All right, council update. Thank you, Tammy, for providing this update. I was interested to see that there is being discussion for future use of the Sharps building. I would hope that maybe we could have a general discussion and that maybe some of our elected officials might have some ideas that they've heard from around the community on what to do with that building. And also a thank you, Tammy, for the September email stating that the official motion for the hearing has been scheduled for October 4th at 9 a.m. And I don't think we'll have our wall of mayors by that time. That's it.
Tammy, clerk.
I wanted to make note, a couple of weeks ago, the power to the Joint Justice Center went down, and long story short, all of their emergency calls were rerouted through Glen Rock. And so it worked as planned on our end that we were able to take all of those calls, but our dispatcher, Aaron Schwarzkopf, that was on at the time, handled all of those calls. So for Glen Rock, Douglas, the county. And so I just thought it was appropriate to mention that she did a great job for us, and we appreciate that. Public Health is having a COVID-19 testing clinic in the parking lot at the health clinic on Saturday the 18th from 8 to 11. They asked me to announce that. And then again, the coal and power plant communities and economic revitalization meeting. That's what they're calling it. They're having two meetings, tomorrow, Tuesday, from 3 to 5, and
I thought they
Wednesday.
were Wednesday, were they tomorrow or Wednesday?
Both, they're doing two.
Okay.
There's one tomorrow from 3 to 5 and one Wednesday from 1 to 3, and they're both at the Enterprise in Douglas. And this is just, so this is to talk about projects that anybody, if anybody's interested in attending, to talk about some projects that maybe everybody could go in on together to tap into some of that money that's going to be available. And then I'm in training this week in Casper, the Fall WAMCAT, and so I started today, and I'll be there tomorrow, and then half a day Wednesday. I'm going to leave a little early so I can attend the Wednesday meeting in Douglas.
Tammy, have you heard anything about a flu shot and a COVID shot clinic that's going to be coming to Glen Rock?
No, the county health hasn't mentioned anything
Never
about
mentioned
that to me.
anything about that?
No, they
I had
talked.
Russ, had you heard anything about that?
We had a meeting last week with Public Health. We're trying to get some dates hammered down between Public Health and Rolling Hills, and we were planning on doing it in Rolling Hills again. I just don't have the date.
So hopefully,
It'll be forthcoming very soon.
within the month, hopefully.
That's a flu shot.
Yes, but part of the reason they haven't picked a date yet, ma'am, is because they are waiting to see what the CDC comes down with for a booster shot for COVID. That decision is supposed to be made by the 20th. So as soon as that decision is made, if previous vaccinated people need a booster shot, then they'll set the date. They just want to make sure what we're doing when we announce what we're doing.
Will this possibly be a regular flu shot as well as a COVID shot?
It will be both. It'll be
Both available?
Flowers at the golf course says flu and COVID. Yes, it'll be both. You can come and get one or the other.
And will there be a charge for either of them?
I don't know the answer to that. That's out of my own. I'm not sure. COVID shots will be free. I don't know about the flu shot.
Because we've always paid with flu shots, if I remember right.
I don't know how they're going to handle that.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Okay. So if anybody has any ideas or anything you want for ideas for possible money to be spent with or on, or might possibly use some of that, what is it, $1.7 billion, something like that. It's an amazing amount of money, and Jim Willix is on the line. We'll probably, when we get to reports, probably bring him up first, and I think he'll talk for a little bit if there's any questions. So moving on to Kelly, treasurer.
I don't really have a whole lot. I started working on the F-66, which is our annual report to the state. Have been in contact with the auditors, and that team will be here, I believe, the first week in November. That's about it.
Okay. Randy's not with us. He's ill at this time. And we'll move on to Jared, IT.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Not much of a major update this week. Been working on a lot of back-end stuff, firewall upgrades. We got the firewalls upgraded here to the latest suggested release. We got the firewalls, the Joint Justice Center up and running, like Tammy mentioned. There was that power outage actually happened last council meeting in the evening. I walked out of here and into there, and we were able to, with the help, get power back up and online, get all of our systems back online over there. And then have been working on some plans with the county IT group and City Douglas IT group to help adjust the monitoring so that we can respond to that incident a little bit better, or at least help the facilities group respond to that incident a little bit better. They lost line power and then lost a generator. And then there's a big battery backup that runs the whole building. And so they were running on that, and they had no idea that they were running on that, or at least dispatch didn't. They just thought they were running on the generator. But when the batteries died, then they found out they had nothing. So we're working on getting all those systems networked and online and everything so that it'll send out emails and texts and alerts. So,
Jared, what was the cause of the power outage? Did they know?
just storm blowing through.
Local weather?
Yep. It actually cut power to us for a little bit as it blew through, and then made it over there and knocked it out for couple of hours. They were 3-4 hours without power.
Not good.
Okay, is everybody's okay with it? I'm going to turn this back on and have Jim have whatever. Jim Willix is on the line, County Commissioner, and see what he's got. He's got some information to tell us, I think, about this possible coal money and stuff. Everybody has questions. So, Jim, are you still there? Hello?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, I'm going to put my mic down here, so go ahead and, if you want to give us a brief, some information, are you willing to take questions too if they come up?
Yeah, whatever works for you, Mayor. I was able to listen on YouTube, so I've got a little delay there. Where you are, but I do want to give kudos. It was just mentioned on the Joint Justice and the backup plan. We learned an awful lot that was very inexpensive in that event because we didn't really have a crisis. and we figured out where some of the weak points were, and it took a team effort of everybody to figure it out. So I do want to give kudos out to everybody who's involved in Glen Rock and Douglas and the county that got that figured out, and it was nice that we learned something and we got a plan moving forward. The main thing I just wanted to touch base with, and I know you guys have alluded to it, is this coal-impacted communities money that is available through the EDA. It is one of those things that every time I listen to a seminar, I get a little less excited about it, but it's still an incredible opportunity. The money is getting divvied up by regions, and so a portion of that $1 billion then gets allocated to the Denver region, of which we're part of. And then there is a portion of it that's dedicated to coal-impacted communities. The definition of coal-impacted communities is pretty broad. And so it affects some areas that you might not think it would. But what I'm hoping we can do in the next couple of meetings is at least look at projects that make sense either individually or collectively to get behind. You know, there may be projects that are Glen Rock, Rolling Hills, and Douglas specific. There may be some that are county specific. But there may be projects that as a whole, we can all five of us get together and say, this is a project we support for the benefit of the entire county and all our citizens. And then that should have a little stronger, you would hope, weight in the process with EDA. One thing that we learned, and Margaret, when you were on that call the other day, we thought we had 100% grants. I've since learned that although it's theoretically possible to get 100% grants, everybody is better off to bring money to the table, so that maybe alters some of the things we're looking at. But it's really about brainstorming what we can do for economic development, for tourism and recreation as it helps economic development. I know you guys are working on trying to figure out some sewer lagoon issues that may fit in. You know, there may be stuff at South Rec that could fit. You know, maybe John Lambert here in Douglas may be able to get infrastructure. Housing is pretty much not allowed. Based on the last thing I heard, we thought it was early on, but it appears that housing is not something that could work. So the main thing is we want to get this going. We've got Douglas, Glen Rock, Rolling Hills, the county, and then we've got School District 1 Rec and School District 2 Rec are invited because of the way the Rec overlaps with the tourism, trying to look at those opportunities, and of course both economic development groups, and just looking for ways that we can collectively move things forward or individually know what everybody's doing and try to get a nice package representing all of Commerce County. So that's kind of the thumbnail, Bruce and council. And I'd be glad to answer any questions. I don't know a lot, but I'm just hoping we can get this ball rolling and find good things we can all support.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the next two meetings with the enterprise that we can get a lot of good ideas together and move forward from there also.
Mr. Willix, I was asked by a citizen today if there was any possibility of any kind of private businesses being able to apply for any kind of grant money in this situation.
Could you hear Jim?
Yeah, I could. So to date, it does not look like a private business could apply. There may, and this is me not fully understanding yet, whether you could do public-private partnerships. But I don't think, I know you guys got a facade grant in front of you. That's kind of a private-public one. I don't know if those kind of things will be acceptable. And I think Cindy Porter was on a conference call with the Business Council today, and she may have more guidance on what would be eligible tomorrow and Wednesday. But not private directly. I think it would have to be public-private partnerships and probably in a pretty narrow window for this batch of money that they're talking about.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
And the only reason there's two meetings is because everybody's schedule is so chaotic that there's a meeting tomorrow for those that can't make it Wednesday and a meeting Wednesday for those that can't make it Tuesday. Everybody's welcome to both, but that's why it kind of broke down into two meetings.
Any other questions? If not, we'll let you go. Jim, thanks Chief for your time and calling and giving us that information.
Well, I appreciate it. I just wanted to give a heads up of what direction we're trying to go and looking forward to working with everybody the next couple of days and moving forward. So thank you, Mayor and Council. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
All right. Good night.
Okay, moving on for it. Next one is items from the floor.
Jim Willix
is now exiting. Mayor, Council. My name is Terry Gray, and I live in Grant. I have had a stroke in the last 10 months, and I'm having trouble getting over it. But I do want to bring some things to the council and to the mayor, so that possibly it's something that you could think of as well. My wife and I go to South Park every day. I'm talking about every day, rain, shine, it doesn't matter, we go there. And we really enjoy the park out there. It's really a fantastic addition to the town. The one thing that bothers us the most is that there is a small group of people that are using it as a home. And I don't think we'd like that to happen. Now, if you could, call in one of the sheriffs, or not the sheriffs, but one of the deputies, you know what I mean. Anyway, I believe that possibly they could help verify what I'm talking about. Through this summer, we've had a camp site set up, and it sometimes has up to 5 residents in that camp. Now, my wife and I have noticed that when we're going in and out of the town, that sometimes the people from that town, from that little village there, come into town, and they will go to the different businesses and ask for some type of contribution, whether it's old food or whatever it is. But one of the things we want to do, what we're trying to bring to you guys, is that we think that we don't need that park turning into a resident like they had in Seattle or Oregon. If people have different concerns, they should take it to the people in the city and have those concerns furnished by people that are here. We have the food access here, and we have a lot of different ways of getting people what they need to not live out there. When I say live, I mean that the person that's out there right now has 5 tents, or has 3 tents. And of those 3, they've been here for over a week. Now, Don and I, we're not keeping track of all this, and we're not turning it into Tammy or anything, but we would also like to have somebody go out and check on them. One time we thought the guy was dead. We never saw anybody move in and out of the park, so we called the sheriff, the police, and they came out and checked on the guy and also told him that he had to move because he's been there for, I don't know, probably a week and a half. Anyway, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that because there's another question that we have. Today, I went around. Yesterday was the last day of the rodeo for kids, and I think most of them were from Douglas, and they did a very good job. We heard from the first one that it was really terrible, that they left it messed up, that it was the worst thing that ever happened to the arena. And so we went around today and we took a look at it, and everything. The only thing I found was one soda bottle. That was it. So I think it did really, really, really well. Well, I was going around the arena. I noticed that the arena is locked, which is supposed to be. And there's supposed to be a key to it that you can get in and out. I noticed that there are new combination locks that are out there. And when I was working with, I was in
Terry, all of our locks out there on the buildings and for the arena are all a combination lock now. And they're set up that way, and whoever is renting or leasing the facility, they're given a combination. We change those lock combinations, so they get a combination for the period of time that they're using. If they're using the arena, they also have access.
Are they also using the key locks?
I don't know that we've got any that are under a key. If it's got a key, that would be Public Works taking care of something for them.
There are four locks out there with keys.
And then they don't have access to those. That would have to be Public Works.
Okay.
From the town.
I just want to make sure that it's a great as a great contribution to the county,
that's all annexed into the town of Glen Rock. It's
right. Yeah, I understand that. I'm just not portraying it very well.
It's a great asset, and that it's an asset to the community.
Yes, it's an asset. Thank you.
They use it quite a bit.
Yeah.
The Gymkhana, they use it quite a bit in the summer. So
yeah, and I want to say that the gal that was working there, she's been laid off, but the gal that was working out there was doing a fantastic job. She was out there every day picking up trees and limbs and everything else and mowing the lawn very well. And we really hope that maybe she'll come back and do it next summer as well. Anyway, I've wasted a lot of your time. I would like you to take a look at people living there year-round. You know, they change from one site to another and to another, and we know who they are because we know what their tents are. And we also know when they come into town, and I know that they've hit the grocery store up for anything that they have. And I don't think that that's exactly the way that we like that to happen. Anyway, thank you very much for your time.
Terry?
Mr. Gray, go ahead.
We're kind of aware of what's going on with the I call them squatters out there.
Yes.
This has been going on a lot for years.
Yes.
And they do try to enforce it. I think we have a 5-day limit to camp, but they're getting where they just move around to another spot. Maybe we should enforce that a little bit better.
Right now.
I know that we got them out of there during Hogfest. They didn't have much choice. I believe I don't know if they're the same parties that came back, but
they are the same ones.
Maybe we can do a little bit better job on that.
Our police department patrols that on a regular basis also. So
yes, we know.
They will make sure they're aware of that and watch what's going on out there, Terry.
Mr.
I appreciate
Gray,
that.
have you been aware of there being any children living in those groups?
We had earlier this summer, we had 3 children working with the same group. Now, those 3 children have left, and I don't know where they've gone. Mostly it's adults, and squatter is one way to put it. We just don't want them making it a home base, right, especially with tents. It's going to get cold soon, and I don't want to be in a tent out there. I really don't. Anyway, thank you very much for your time. I
Terry.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Terry. Any other items from the floor?
Hi, Mayor and Council. I'm Mark Fritzen, the principal at the Glen Rock High School. Homecoming's coming, and homecoming's coming next week. And so just with a little bit of rundown for you, because our Wednesday, the 22nd, will be our parade, which will start at 6 o'clock. And we just want permission to do that again like we did last year, go through, and then we'll end up with a bonfire and hot dogs and hamburgers at the high school, and we'll end the parade there, and have a great homecoming, as it's coming very quickly. And again, thanks for the golf thing, because we've had a great relationship with the golf course, and we've got quite a few kids up for golf for the first year, and that's great to see. It's great to get the support of the golf community out there and the golf clubs. So it's been a great thing. So yeah.
Okay.
Do you have a dance planned for the homecoming?
I do. Are you coming?
No.
Oh, I need extra chaperones. We do Saturday nights, the dance.
We always need
So-
help, right?
So if you do want to know what's going on, Monday is Royalty Day. We're supposed to be dressed up in suits and dresses. That's on Monday. And we will have Powder Puff football that night at 6:30 on the stadium. And if you've noticed that we've got new stadium lights because the last ones blew down. So those are up and running. Tuesday is Ugly Stepsister Day, so you're supposed to wear something mismatched. Wednesday, that is the clock strikes midnight, and that is going to be the parade day, and everything ends up barbecue, bonfire, everything ends up at the high school at 6 p.m. Thursday is Color of Royalty, Purple Day, and then we will have our football game. Cross country that day is in Casper at 2, and football will be Friday against Wheatland at 7 o'clock. So, and then the homecoming dances on Saturday from 8 to 11. So if you need a date, you better get one quick.
How exciting for your students. That's really nice.
Yeah, it's all good.
So we all supposed to dress up those days too, right?
Yeah, make sure you dress up when you're checking on
Yeah.
me.
Ugly sister.
Thank you for the information.
Is there anything the town needs to do
No,
for the
they-
parade, or?
No, we just need to let the PD know, so when they start the parade, where are you going to line up that this year, Mark?
We'll do the same as last year. So we bust them all out at the Rock and the Glen, and we started there and walked this way, because the first year we walked both ways, and that didn't work very well. So now we're busting them all. We walk one way and end up at the high school, and that worked a little bit better. So
Let's just get PD and know that that's going to be going on, so they can
yeah, so they just
kind of help take care of that and escort you a little.
yeah, so they shut down that one, and they shut down the four-way stop, and
Yeah.
the way we went. So
Okay,
pretty well.
we'll take care of that.
All right, thank you.
Any other items from the floor? Not, we'll move on to new business. Our first order of business is a honoring Hunger Action Month of proclamation. Whereas addressing the food insecurity need of children, youth, men, women, seniors, active military, and veterans today is fundamentally for the future of the town of Glen Rock, and whereas the hunger, poverty are issues of vital concern in Converse County, where 13.7% of the people struggle with hunger, and 1 in every 6 children do not know where their next meal will come from, and whereas the need for comprehensive, coordinated emergency food programs placed upon our community is critical responsibility. The town of Glen Rock is committed to combating hunger in every part of our community and providing additional resources that those in need. And whereas it is our responsibility as citizens of the town of Glen Rock to learn about hunger and to do our part in reducing that hunger, and partner with the Food Bank of Wyoming, a member of the Feeding Wyoming nationwide network of food banks, and whereas our local partner, Glen Rock Area Food Pantry, to educate the people about the important role of hunger relief organizations, raise awareness for the need and devote more resources and attentions to hunger and food insecurity issues, and whereas more than 1,900 residents in Converse County rely annually on food provided by the Food Bank of Wyoming, their local partners, and its generous funding, volunteers who are committed to educating citizens on the role of food banks and the hunger relief efforts in solving hunger. And whereas the Food Bank of Wyoming provides over 12 million meals across Wyoming annually, and to engage each of us to help end hunger one meal at a time, either through donations, social media shares, or volunteer shifts. And whereas the month of September is designated the Hunger Action Month in order to bring attention to food insecurity in our community. Therefore, I, Bruce Rommel, Mayor of the Town of Glen Rock, do hereby proclaim September 2021 as Hunger Action Month and encourage all citizens to increase their understanding and awareness of food insecurity and how it impacts our nation, state, county, and communities. Given under my hand and seal of the Town of Glen Rock to affix this 13th day of September 2021. The next order of business is a facade grant for Remax Horizon Realty. They're asking for half of the money they spent to put stickers and signs on their window over there. There was some other stuff on their application, but they're only asking for half of that. So the facade grant application, they've already done it, but they didn't know about this, but they went ahead and put it in. It was for $37.50. And we do have a facade grant that, monies that we can go towards those type of things for here in town. So, and it's Verizon Remax Realty from Douglas, Ryan Andrews. So is there a motion?
I move we pay them $37.50.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Tammy, do you know if they were, what their other two were? They had one, there was some other stuff. They're looking at some signs. Do you know that they might be coming back to us later about that? Because it came to $1,181. I don't know.
Yeah, the other stuff is not stuff that's covered, and I don't.
Well,
that's kind of a funny
I
thing.
didn't read down at the bottom.
Read it.
I have a feeling that was on.
Wait a minute here.
There's some down.
It was.
This is going to be this one here?
Yeah, don't read that.
Don't read that.
Somebody asked me about it, and I thought maybe she made a mistake. And when I looked online, it was on the application.
Tongue twister for me. Boots, you're
Not
one
the
well.
side, not the front. She's in the middle.
So I fixed it.
Okay.
But
If
yeah,
they come
as far as
back,
I
there's
know,
still other stuff that they could apply for. So
Yeah.
this is pretty minimal. So there's been a motion, a second. Any other discussion? Not, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Okay. The next one is a resolution 2021-8, a resolution approving award of bid for Glen Rock Pathway LED lighting project. Whereas the town of Glen Rock has approved the Glen Rock Pathway LED lighting project, whereas requested for bids, the town Pathway LED lighting project was published on August 19th and August 26th of 2021, whereas bids were opened by Randy Rappler, Public Works Director, on August 31st, 2021 at 10 a.m. with the following: Deer Creek Electric at $33,425 and H&H Electric at $34,441.25. Now therefore be resolved that the town of Glen Rock awards the bid as follows: Deer Creek Electric for $33,425, passed and approved and adopted the 13th day of September 2021. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we pass resolution 2021-8 for the Pathway lighting project.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
What this is the conversion of the lights down through the middle of it. That's the old lights to the new LED.
Yeah, you can tell the difference.
You can tell a big difference. So that's what this one's for. So I just wanted to let you know exactly what they're going to do. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Next one is Resolution 2021-9, a resolution approving award of bid for Glen Rock Street Light Project. Whereas the town of Glen Rock has approved the Glen Rock LED streetlight project, whereas request for bid for the Glenrock LED streetlight project to change 18 streetlights to LED was published on August 19th and August 26, 2021. Whereas the bids were opened by Randy Rumpler, Public Works Director, on August 31st, 2021 at 10 a.m. and as were followed. Deer Creek Electric was $9,000. H&H Electric was $4,135.56. Now therefore be resolved that the town of Glenrock awards the bid as follows to H&H Electric for $4,135.56. Passed, approved, and adopted the 13th day of September 2021. Is there a motion?
I'll move that we approve Resolution 2021-9.
Motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Where are these lights at?
These are the lights, our lights through the center. That's
Oh,
the
there's that
street
one,
lights.
yeah.
Ones
Okay.
that are down here, our new ones, to convert those all over to LED and get away from the old style bulbs is what it's for. So,
Quite a difference in bids.
yeah, I'm not sure what the deal was there. I have no idea. So, but H&H was the low bid on that one. So I think they can do the job. So is there any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Next resolution is Resolution 2021-10, a resolution approving award of the bid for new garbage truck. Whereas the town of Glenrock has approved the purchase of a new garbage truck, whereas requests for bids for the new garbage truck were published August 19th, 2021 and August 26th, 2021. Whereas bids were opened by Randy Rumpler, Public Works Director, on August 31st, 2021 at 10 a.m. and were as follows. CML Taco for $266,250. CMI Tico Different Body for $298,574, and then Floyd's Truck Center for the $258,986. Therefore, be it resolved that the town of Glenrock awards the bid as follows to Floyd's Truck Center for $258,986, passed and approved and adopted this 13th day of September 2021. Is there a motion?
I move we approve Resolution 2021-10.
Motion, is there a second?
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion. Just so you know, Floyd's Truck Center came down and looked at the old other curb tender, and this price will go down by $10,000 to get rid of the curb tender that we've put so much money in, we've paid for it twice.
How many garbage trucks have we bought in the past few years, couple years?
Well, the last one we bought was the new big one that takes care of all the big ones, the big dumpsters, not the curb one. Curb tender's fairly old, and we've had to rebuild the body twice. We've had numerous problems with it. It's gone in and been repaired. We've done a lot of repairs here on our own. This truck has been awarded, and they actually had one on the assembly line that is being built and can be here probably at the end of this month or sometime next month.
I was just thinking, it seems like the last few budgets, we've always had a garbage truck in there.
Well, the last one was for the bigger truck, for all the big ones.
Because we also bought a side one too, right?
Yeah, the side one is the curb tender.
Oh, okay.
That's two different trucks.
They're only giving us $10,000 for the old one.
I'm glad they gave us anything,
Just
because they don't want
to get rid of it.
It's got a real problem with how it packs, and it packs off uneven, and it's damages the rear end on the truck, and it's pushed it out through the sidewall. We've gone in and welded stainless steel plate in there to try to see if that would help, but we've had trouble with it again. It just got fixed not too long ago. They had to do all the curb tender work 2 weeks ago, I believe, by hand with the big truck. So
does this new truck come with a full warranty for a
Yes.
year, 5 years?
I'm not sure of the exact warranty, but it's a totally new truck under all warranty. What Randy can give you that information. He could probably do it tonight, but except he's not here. But yes, it's a good truck, and it's what we're looking for. And like we said, that we just happened to hit it just right for bids on it. We'll have it very soon instead of like we've been waiting a year for police department vehicles and
Longer than a year.
oh, it's been over a year now. So, and we don't sure when they might show up. It could be next spring.
Is it going to be white like the other ones?
As far as I would be, that would be my guess, Margaret. I have no idea.
We want to recognize it when it goes running around town.
Yep. You'll notice it when it goes by the front of your house to grab your garbage can.
Okay.
All shiny new.
Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Next order of business is ordinance number 727, an ordinance approving the final plat of the HW addition comprising of 1.1 acres, more or less. This is second reading on 13th of September 2021. Passed and approved and adopted. Well, we're not doing the third one, it's just for second now. So
It's final, right?
yeah, no, this is the second reading. The final one will be next council meeting. So this is for the second reading of the plat for that plat change. Is there a motion?
I move that we approve ordinance 727 on a second reading.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? I do know that we went out and checked that manhole, and it was only stubbed out to the west, so I know that Herschel's been in contact with CEPI and Andrew Hunt to get a DEQ permit and cost to extend that sewer on from that manhole there that's right there close to the intersection where Fox Street comes around and down there to that property so they could get sewer to those
And
those lots.
That's at their cost, not ours.
It's at their cost, not ours. And also, the reason we're kind of working on that was because ISCO, the company that was awarded the bid for paving those streets out there, came in today and they're running that reclaimer where they grind it all up and compact it back down for base, that reverse rotomill that's out there. And we're trying to get them to work around part of the area there to kind of leave that, if we possibly can, to keep from that manhole to the west there before it goes off the hill down to Maloney Lane and that on Brubaker Road there. So hopefully it gets done. So what that costs for the Wickett subdivision doesn't increase for having to repave the road again. We hope we get it done before it gets paved. But all the roads down there into the lower subdivision and down to past the park, right to the entrance of the RV is all going to get paved now.
Good.
It'll be a 4.5 inches of paving. So, there's been any more discussion on ordinance number 727? And I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. I believe our next order of business is bills and claims.
I make a motion, we pay our bills.
Motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I just had a question. I was going to ask Randy. I see where they got approved for 2 new trucks. What are those costing? Do you know?
He hasn't wrote the resolution up. We actually put in for with the tax and everything off, they're pretty cheap. The low bid, I can tell you, was Griner Ford. It would be 2 trucks for Public Works and a new truck for the
Dog catcher.
dog catcher.
I think we discussed the dog catcher one because
Sorry.
we needed it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, she corrected me.
Okay.
It's called animal control.
Animal control.
Not dog catcher.
Excuse me.
So I didn't know how much those were.
Since you're our retired animal control officer. But no, I can't tell you that right offhand. That will probably come in, that resolution will probably be on our next, at our next council meeting, as far as I know.
Those are the panel trucks, right? Shouldn't have toolboxes on them.
Yes, the ones with the utility boxes,
Yep.
yes.
Okay.
Any other questions for bills and claims? There was some big ones that came in, but it's just the normal stuff from the projects. Hearing no discussion, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. Is there anything else to come before the council this evening Do we need an executive session at all? No? Okay. As far as I'm concerned, no, but it's up to anybody else. Not I would ask somebody to entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn this meeting.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Been moved in second. Hearing no discussion, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed by nay. Motion carries. If council will stick around after the meeting, we have 3 gentlemen here that would like to speak to our council for just a little bit about some project stuff that they're wanting to do. If you'd hang on and let Kelly get everybody to sign the paperwork, we'll go from there.